President Trump recently announced he's going to withdraw thousands of U.S. troops from Syria. A Yazidi group in Lincoln is voicing their concerns on that. New at 10, Channel 8 Eyewitness News reporter Joe Harris has that story for us. Joe?
That's right, Megan. They're worried what the absence of American troops would mean for minority groups in Syria.
We've beaten them, and we've beaten them badly. We've taken back the land, and now it's time for our troops to come back home.
Last week, President Trump declared ISIS was defeated in Syria and said the U.S. was going to withdraw its troops from the country. Yazidi International Vice President Hadi Pierce says that's a big concern for Yazidis and other minority groups in Syria. He says the troops' absence will leave a vacuum for radical groups to fill and that they're not worried about ISIS, but Turkish-backed Islamist groups like the Free Syrian Army.
They persecute Yazidis and they change their temples to mosques and force them to convert Islam. Most of them run away.
Pierce says the presence of American troops in minority areas in Syria keeps such groups from going in and taking over. He says ISIS is also a concern, but that the threat from Turkish-backed forces is bigger at this time.
It's the same threat. That means they just want them to either convert or change or leave.
And while Syrian President Bashar al-Assad has been accused of killing innocents, Pierce says things are more stable in areas under his control.
Many minorities can live in their areas under Bashar. That does not mean it's safe. That does not mean it will not be persecuted. But they still can live.
He says Yazidi wants to tell the Trump administration what the consequences of a withdrawal will be for Yazidis. He says they'd like to see either U.S. troops or an international force have presence in minority areas. Now, Pierce says Americans should be concerned too because when minorities are persecuted, that's a sign that the threat could grow bigger.
Joe Harris from the newsroom tonight. Thank you very much, Joe.